Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you guys, wherever you are. Hello. I have no sound. Do you guys can hear me? Hilario doesn't hear. I mean, Rina, you can hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you well.
All right. Okay, we're going to start shortly, just seeing who's joining. If you can briefly say on the chat where you're from, which organization or which part of the world, that will be amazing. And we're going to start in a second with both Rina, John, joining from a different parts of the world, and myself joining from another part. We'll talk about that, how to do the persistent tracking and spatial AI across the globe in the same time.
That's right. We went as far apart as we could, I think, this time.
Yeah. All right. Brilliant. Thank you guys for joining. Okay, so I think 2 minutes past 5 Central European summertime, 2 minutes past 8 of California time. So I think it's a good time to start officially right now. Hello and welcome to everyone who's joining this global EON XR Global User Webinar, the webinar that is designed and conducted on a monthly basis for EON XR users across the globe. And today we have an exciting topic, EON Spatial AI, using XR and AI together, blended together into the assistant guidance based on the real world environments and how to do it. So 3 of the presenters from a customer success department at EON Reality, and we can go around it in this order. So guys, just let's say hi to everyone. Go ahead.
Yes, thanks, Marcin. This is Rina Walsinger, Dr. Rina Walsinger. I'm actually broadcasting today from Greece. I will be, as we started to say, we're in different parts of the world, and we can show you AI, the AI assistant and spatial AI from where we are at the same time. It's great to be here. I know I'm looking at the chat. Hello to everybody that I know and those of you who are new. We're really excited to show you this. It changes a lot of things and makes a lot of things easier and faster. And you'll see some really interesting demonstrations of that today. So with that, pass it to John.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. This is John Green. I'm a Director of XR Experiences, and I am joining in from downtown Cancun, Mexico. And like Rina said, we have an exciting program today. We're going to be showing you how you can blend the virtual with the real world. And I'll be doing a live demonstration here in downtown Cancun. But thanks for joining. Thanks for taking the time to learn more about EON Spatial AI. And I'm looking forward to the session.
Thank you, John. And just so you know, your finger a little bit covering the camera, but I'm sure we will be changing that when we will come to the live demo. Thank you. And myself, Marcin Kaszica, joining from Europe, from Poland, and working with the clients across the region. Director of Global Education and Training formally, but I'm sure I met some of you on the various training occasions where we demonstrated the EON XR platform itself. Okay, with that, a little bit of housekeeping just to making sure you guys feel comfortable, you making yourself ready for this 1-hour session. So we scheduled today, right now it left 55 minutes of this webinar. For the information, this webinar is being recorded and it will be available to everyone who want to watch it, rewatch it and analyze it later on, and we have that will be available on the YouTube. So at the beginning as well as at the end, I would like to already encourage you to follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which consists lots of the latest videos and improvements into the platform being presented there. As you're already using a chat messages, that's brilliant. There is also ability to ask questions. And we don't want you just to be the participant, just to be the attendee. We want you to be the participants of this training or in this webinar. So please ask any questions you think is related to this. And the three of us will be happy to either demo the solutions, provide you the answers, or maybe if we don't know the answers, work towards those answers for the future. So that's for the housekeeping, and very briefly on what's in our agenda. So as the title suggests, we're going to concentrate on the latest products of EON Reality, on the Spatial AI and AI assisted and guidance. But before that, briefly, we want to talk about what's cooking in the EON XR platform, what's new, what are the things that you maybe forgot, maybe you're not aware, just to be very brief introduction to that. We will go over the purpose of using a digital twin and in demonstrations and compare the traditional approach with this new approach with the persistent tracking. So today is mainly about using a real world scenario, locating the persistent tracking anchors and how do they work and how they can be utilized. And last but not least, we want to give you a little bit of flavor and encourage you to test in presenting some case studies as well as the live demonstration. So let's move on. Right, so what's in the EON XR platform? You might be already aware. Lots of things has been changed in the past months. Some of those things you might be aware, some of those you may not yet try. So here it is. Within the EON XR, we have right now the EON AI Assistant. And the product itself, as well as the experiences, could be supported by the benefits of the artificial intelligence. And that was the topic of our previous webinar that you can watch on the YouTube. But I want to highlight the fact that you have the ability to decide both of your virtual representation in a virtual experiences as an avatar, as well as your assistant as well, and customize that. From a new things, just a heads up, we also planning to put up the full body presentation of the avatars, so with much more interactive abilities as well. So just to making sure that you, by accessing your profile settings, you have ability to set up and configure your avatars. One more thing here is to also mention, there are lots of questions coming up, and it's great because that means you guys experimenting with the EON XR platform and also using it with the students. We want to highlight the fact that we have developed and still updating the documentation. So within the EON XR platform itself, on the web platform, as well as from the mobile application, you have access to the online 24/7 available documentation that includes lots of videos, guidance, what, how, both for various products, features, and functionalities. And when speaking about those features and the functionalities, just to also make you aware that formally right now within your administrating panel, we would like to encourage you to push your administrators towards deployment of those licenses. So many institutions have those products purchased, they have them already, but not everybody distributing those licenses. So please make sure you're working with your lead administrator to distribute those licenses to the end users. And that includes the license for EON Metaverse Builder that allows to use the multiple object in this space, EON Interact, and as well, what we will show today, EON AI Assistant, that includes this persistent tracking functionality, allowing us to utilize that. And last, before we're going to dig into the Spatial AI, is also the fact that each of the user right now, if you would like to check if you have all of the necessary licenses, you can do that right now from the level of your mobile application, accessing on the mobile your profile settings, checking the license. You will be able to see if or not a license for a specific product was activated for your account. You have ability, of course, to do lots of other things, but those are available there. Okay, with that, let's go to the guidance and assistance using the artificial intelligence. So actually, I would like to, and I'm going to a little bit of change it, and this is also between Rina, John, three of us here. Let's try to look on how does the process looks like right now when the people would like to demonstrate their laboratory elements and instructions based on the real world. What's the current process and open, and how do we think we have improved that from a point of view of using the persistent tracking?
Would that be for me?
Yeah, it's open question. That's what I wanted to have a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing digital twins for a long time, and I think, learning how to scan, there's some things about it that work and some things that don't work. Like if I want to scan a glass, like something like this, it doesn't scan because there's reflections and see-through windows and things. So it has to be set up just right and lit well. In fact, the best things I've ever scanned are in museums where you take off the lid and you scan something that you can walk around and you can see the steps there. Now, total change. Now I can just place an anchor and it knows where I am. In fact, I'm in Greece right now, so it starts telling me where I am and then does an introduction, and then I just start injecting knowledge, and we'll show you that today. So there's going from 5 steps to 2 is a big difference. And actually, since you're on location doing these things, it's important to make it as easy to use as possible, which we've done here. So
absolutely. But the thing is that even when here you can see the before and now, it doesn't mean that we remove that functionality within the EON XR. So there is still a possibility with increase of the quality related to the 3D scanning, photogrammetry, and capturing the real worlds. But in a current process, to get that, even inside EON XR, which is the no-code solution, as you know, it required us to do the 3D scanning with some of the device, like an iPads with the LiDAR technology or some other 3D scanners, import and export out models, and then our cloud system is able to convert and optimize that model for a purpose of use of augmented reality. But later on, and that's also a functionality that still exists from within the EON Merged XR functionality, to map these 3D models that are scanned or coming from a photogrammetry and map it to the real environment. And just then you can start to annotate, build a knowledge portal, and inject that important aspects of the knowledge transfer into the experience itself. Because lots of the time, instructions, guidance, has to be based on the real environments. That's why now, as Rina was mentioned, the functionalities and abilities of the devices that we're holding in our hands, that the iPads, iPhones, Android devices, they already have lots of built-in functionalities, as you are aware. So except the ability to use the augmented reality with a webcam, front-facing, back-facing camera, but those devices also includes the technology like GPS, navigation, accelerometers, and also the processors for the image processing units within the CPU that allowing to do the necessary calculations. And with the support of AR core technology or AR kit technology, we have enabled the ability to directly annotate the real world without the necessity of scanning. So the scanning in a way, or mapping of the environment, happening directly within the application, and directly within the application, you can use the injection of the knowledge, AI supported or manual, depending on your preferences. So what is the persistent anchor from a technology point of view, just to kind of give you a guidance from that perspective? So one thing is, and both Rina and John will be able to demonstrate that, as well as, if the time will allow, I'll do it, that one thing is collecting information about your GPS position. And we all know that the GPS has some accuracy, and depends, of course, how many signals from how many satellites we're capturing is able to more or less precise establish our position. But that's sometimes enough to already put the information, the contextual information based on our position in the real world. Of course, the question might remain, how is it going to work indoor? How is it going to go outdoor? Is always the GPS works better. That's why the technologies developed by Google, by Apple, and also applied and in use within the EON XR by our development team allows to use the image-based recognition and recognizing features, a special unique points on our three-dimensional environments with using a depth cameras, using a recognition inside those multi-camera devices. And based on that recognition, is able to provide us with the ability to exactly measure the distance, point the elements like a virtual or augmented annotations into those space. So that's exactly where we're going into it, that we have ability to put those annotations into the real world based on the real recognition, as long as we are in the same space when it's recognized. And last but not least, also be using the AI, because as the topic of this is called the Spatial AI, then we have the ability to inject the information based on the artificial intelligence engines, similar to like a ChatGPT and others, in experimenting also with Google's BART and other systems that exist related to the providing us all of the necessary info from about the objects. So we will show you that, and I think it's a good time right now, and we are already approximately I'm looking onto the clock right now at 20 minutes almost in the session. So I think it's a good time to move into some of the practical demonstrations. So we have some of the videos prepared for you, but on the other hand, we're going to do a try first with a live demonstration of the case studies, and then if there will be some problems in communication in Cancun or in Greece or here in Poland, then we're going to jump into some of the videos, because I think a live presentation is always more valuable. So I don't know, John, maybe you can start with a little bit of presentation from your side, please.
Absolutely. Thank you, Marcin. So like you said, I'm here in Mexico, and this ability to combine technology, the virtual world with the real world, offers a lot of exciting possibilities here. And with the anchor, we're going to be able to annotate the real world and inject it with knowledge into the real world. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to share my screen, and I'll go slowly. There might be a little bit of delay, but I'll show you how to set an anchor in the real world, and then how you'll be able to annotate objects in that environment. So just follow along with me. I'm here live in this patio area, so you kind of get a glimpse of where I'm at, but it should be pretty fun here. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Share the screen. I'll start broadcasting, and you'll hear a lot of background noise as I do this. All right, so let me pop this open. Let me know.
We envy you the location, John, just so you know. We envy you the location.
I know. I'm going to make everyone jealous here of the Cancun, Mexico. Great place to visit. And so it should be fun here. There's a lot of artwork here in this plaza area, which we'll take a look at. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, all is good. Thank you, John.
Okay, so I'm going to walk, and you guys will just follow along as I walk over here. I'm going to this area where there's some statues that we'll be able to annotate. But first, I will set a location where we can set an anchor point down, and then I'll start the annotation process. So let's move to a spot here where we can do this. So as I'm moving here, and I'm going to find my spot. So I'm going to go to the Metaverse Builder. Not once. So here we are. And this is a main plaza. I've got the Cancun sign. You can see people taking pictures. And there are a lot of pieces of artwork that we're going to take a look at. But let me go ahead and set my avatar right here. Let me pull up the audio. I don't know if you can hear the avatar speaking or not. I'm going to go ahead and go to Explore.
Don't worry, John, about the avatar speaking. I think we will be able to demonstrate that also. There's a lot of other information, but I see already the GPS recognized the position of a Cancun, right?
That's right. It recognized, and actually it's providing me information on this exact location, saying that's one of the 7 wonders of the world. We're close to Chichen Itza, the Mayan ruins. It's close by here. And here it's asking me to set a persistent anchor. Now, all I have to do is slowly walk around this anchor point. And it's going to pick up that geospatial coordinate. And I just walk around until it turns green. So now it's processing. And as soon as it's completed, it's going to show me the anchor point. So I'm going to set a picture. How about we use the Cancun picture? Right there. Now you can see, please start setting up a persistent anchor. So as soon as this is ready, I will be able to label different sections in this area. Okay, there we have a label. So I'll put a label right there. And it just takes a few seconds here. I can see at the top of the screen it says, please wait. But this opens up so many possibilities, the ability to explore real locations, be on site, create activities for your learners to be on site and create unique experiences, and the learning that can take place with a tool like this, where you can combine knowledge and actual locations on site. It's really nice here. It just gave me a description of that area. And it looks like it picked up a different word, but let me continue here. And as soon as it goes through a description, it will bring up knowledge portals where it will take whatever information I give. I didn't get a chance to give it a keyword, but it will bring up images. There's an audio component right there, and it will bring up a video. And actually the avatar will talk through this experience and then allow me to add knowledge portals and label this environment. So let me go through, I'll hit continue.
Okay, while you're doing that, maybe it's worth to mention also for our participants that in the whole process that John is presenting right now, there is actually the built-in wizard step-by-step procedure. So to get all of that done, you practically needed to click or tap your screen one or twice just to decide that you want to use the exploration with the persistent anchors, and all of the information that are presented in here, including the generation of the knowledge portals, basic top elements, information goes step by step, and it's guided by the in the AI avatar asking us a question, what we would like to do next, and would we like to kind of do one or another step in the process. Go ahead, John, please.
And so I moved over to this statue called Alebrijes, very famous statue. It's an artwork in Mexico. And as soon as the microphone come up, I'll be able to say a keyword and say the word Alebrijes, and it'd be able to label with all that knowledge, the portals that I can find. And I'll show a video afterwards of how I could personalize this experience and label the real world with content. Can see here, so we have this statue, Alebrijes, and I find out the history of this artwork. I even can pause and ask the AI questions, so specific questions at any point in time. I could open up the microphone and ask questions about this piece of Alebrijes, very famous in Mexico. And then I'll show you in a video afterwards how I can move over here. There's a statue. And hit continue. Then I'll be able to label the statue on this side. Okay. Juan Gabriel, very.
Yeah, we can then look into that in a moment in that case. And that it's great to kind of see that there is a possibility to live stream that, probably using your mobile broadband in that case, and also being able to see the live image being annotated and injected with the information.
Absolutely. And then you can save this as an experience. Again, that anchor point is right in this area. And wherever I walk, the AI will follow me. That's what's really cool about this. I can go anywhere in this whole space, and that AI will actually follow me and just talk to me and describe to me what's going on in the environment, so point at different locations and start building the knowledge portals based
Absolutely.
on this.
Sorry to interrupt you, John. Just I see there is also a question in the same time from Janet. Thank you very much for that question. So the question is, do you have to be on site? And of course, to explore different virtual worlds, that's the benefit of virtual reality and augmented reality, that you don't necessarily have to be on site. But because we're using something called persistent tracking, and that means it's based on the location that you annotating a real object in a real environment, which means the end user, your students, for instance, entering the laboratory, or your employees, smart workers entering the factory, they will go to the physical space and then automatically, based on that, will be seeing those annotations. That's why there is a need to be to just create and explore the environments with the persistent tracking anchors. Yes, you need to create it in the specific location, GPS location. Though you can also play that, and we'll show that possibly later, that there is a possibility also to play those knowledge portals, not necessarily in the physical location, because when we're playing it, it will ask us, do we want to use the persistent tracking or we do not? Okay.
Yeah, I just added a keyword here, Cancun. It's going to go through and build knowledge portals based on that keyword. And it just gave me a picture, and now it'll give me a description of that keyword. There's my avatar, and I'll be able to listen in and hear what they're saying, and also provide me a video here. So I can customize this keyword search and alter it, and whatever keyword I want to use, it will bring up those knowledge portals.
Totally, we can see it. It's exactly the best example of merging the extended reality, which includes the augmented reality, together with the artificial intelligence generated content that makes this knowledge transfer extremely easy, without any coding, without any need for advanced knowledge, even because AI can support us in this process, and we can always decide what we want to use and what not.
You can see how it fills with AI. I didn't have to go and search for all these different annotations. Each one of these knowledge portals are filled with video, audio, images, and you see it's going to go through a specific, to explain to me Cancun and the top attractions, top features, what can tourists do in Cancun. Again, really great way to just blend in the virtual with the real world experience.
Yeah. And there is one more thing, because I'm also looking onto the questions and the comments on the chat. So there is actually one thing very, very useful to mention. And because John actually streaming, he will not be able to do it because he's already presenting his screen to us. But because within the EON XR application, when you're pressing a 3-dot icon on the top right corner, there is an ability to also do the screen recording directly from the app. That means you are able to create very easily snapshots, videos of the merged reality, mixed reality, AR knowledge portals together with a real object, and record it directly onto your mobile device and distribute and share. And maybe also we have to mention a little bit of a highlights that in the upcoming versions there will be some ability to directly share it on the social media and others, but that's upcoming features inside it. Brilliant.
Yep. And I just
John,
did a quick
yes, go ahead.
on his, and then there you can see it's going through the portal and making it relevant to what I'm looking at, and I can learn more about Alebrijes and who created it and who started it, and they'll bring up a really cool video on the history and what our Alebrijes is all about. There's that video. I'll try to play it. Let's see if it comes through. I know there's a little bit of a delay. See how I can get close to the knowledge portal. Here, see the image. I can see the annotation, and there's that video that would come through on that. So that's just a few examples how you quickly annotate your environment. I could spend more time going through each one of these, but I think this gives you a good idea at the possibilities of using the persistent tracking. It just opens up so many options in terms of, it could be at a factory floor, it could be at a hospital, it could be tourism, and a lot of different areas where this type of experience could apply to education and to learning.
Absolutely. And also within the existing projects related to the EON Spatial AI, cities, heritage, culture. This is a brilliant example. Thank you very much, John. And with that, please stay on the line, John. We're going to move over to Greece and to Rina, maybe, please.
Okay, do you want me to do the live?
Yeah, absolutely. If we can do it, it's always nice to show our EON XR users how the platform really okay. How powerful it is, right? Otherwise, I mean, we have also so the matter.
I'll go ahead and share my screen and make sure that you'll be seeing my screen. Oh, maybe I didn't share yet, though. Let me go back to the Zoom. They kicked me out.
If there is more time needed, there's no problem at all, Rina. We can actually start with the showcasing the case study with the airplane first.
Yeah, I just I was trying to share my desktop, and then I think I can do it now if we have a minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to share my desktop. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm using an iPhone, so I'm using screen mirroring, which is why I do it this way first, so that you will see my entire iPhone there. Then I'm going to go into our application. I'm going to make an experience here, and let me know if you can hear everything. I'm not sure how that will work. Hopefully. I'm going to go outside and set an anchor. Coming up. There we go. Perfect.
Wow, nice location, Rina.
Thank you. I'm going to do create and
please choose from the following segments or use the microphone to provide a topic of your choice.
Okay. Hopefully you're hearing that. So
yes, all is working fine. Thank you.
Avatar. Coming up here. Could be my internet here. I'm not sure. Seeing that now. Huh. Might have to restart Martin.
No problem. Murphy's Law sometimes happens, but the thing is, usually when you are using the rule of switching it off and on again, sometimes because of the internet connectivity in the distance places, we just need to do it, and I'm sure it will work.
One more time.
Hi, what would you like to do? Create AI-generated show and teller experiences in the virtual world. Please choose from the following segments or use the microphone to provide a topic of your choice.
So I'm going to actually do, I meant to do explore, huh? But in fact, I will do that. But just to show this really fast, I can do this typing as well, and then just to do the question and answer first. Because this is important to figure out, it's going to find where I am, and then I'm going to pick those information, select go, and then
please select the keywords you wish to use. You may choose more than one.
Bring up my portals like you saw John's do in this way, or I can lay an anchor. So this will answer the question, do you need to lay an anchor? No, you don't have to. This is a different way to do it. So just to contrast that a little bit. It'll read that. It's taking time to bring up portals, I think. There we go.
Santorini is a beautiful Greek island in the Aegean Sea, known for its stunning sunsets, white water, and volcanic beaches.
So I'm not doing anything other than holding my iPhone right now. I only typed in Santorini, Greece.
Santorini was once a single island until a massive volcanic eruption in 1620 BC caused the center of the island to collapse, creating the caldera and the smaller islands that make up Santorini today. Here is a video related to Santorini, Greece. When you are ready, click Continue to add a 3D model.
So this is another way to do it without an
A
anchor.
3D object allows us to explore this subject further. If there is no
Select
suitable
put it here. And it's going to add all that content with this model and anchor it there, which is another way to do this. Which is actually, I really like this way because I get the model and I still get all the annotations to come up. So it's going to come up, it's going to research 10 different annotations and bring 30 portals, knowledge portals up, which are going to consist of video, audio, and images. So it takes usually about 20 seconds or so. It might take a little longer because I'm on a guest internet here. So the only difference between this and laying the anchor is just that I'm attaching it to a model instead of attaching it to the spatial anchor. So if I attach the anchor, it would have said, welcome to Santorini. And then it would have, the rest of the experience would be identical to what you're seeing. So hopefully that comes up.
Yeah, absolutely. It needs always, depends, of course, on the size of the model. It needs time to download and generate the information. That's obvious.
I see it's at 60% there at the top of my screen.
But also worth to mention, while is that loading is for all of the people's, all of the participants' benefit, that in here, there, as I mentioned before, there are already guided processes, both for creating the experience that you first put the model and the knowledge portals, or you explore, that means you first to the real environment, adding the persistent anchor elements, and then if you wish, you can add the knowledge portals and also the 3D objects later on, or even the existing exploration of the library as well. So we see it's already been loaded here.
Select which show and tell
Yeah.
presentation
So
you want to watch.
I see my 10 portals and I can watch, again, there's 30 or 10 annotations, there's 30 portals, so I can pick anything and then I can get all the portals right here. So beautiful presentation right here in the location where I am. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back so we can see some other stuff and see if there are any questions and see if I could unshare. There we go. Okay.
All right, I'm already looking also on the questions. So guys, thank you very much for doing those, putting those questions in. And as per that it will be nice to set up the annotation on the object in a 3D remote location. Absolutely. The only, and that's a very good idea. We're going to take it further. And there are, of course, the ability that we can even simulate a GPS location on the mobile device, and that's actually how we're testing this. But to make it as precise as it is, there is also, as I mentioned before, ability to use the image recognition. So in that case, as much as the technology allows to do that using the AR Core and AR Kit, that is going to be incorporated in the application. So I'm definitely sure that it will be available at some point within the developments and the evolutions of the EON XR platform. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen now and also going to show one more of the example from yourself, Rina, that you actually been preparing some time ago.
Good.
And I hope you guys will be able to see together. So there is one example.
What would you like to do?
I don't know if you guys can see it, my screen, and hear
Yes.
the audio from this video.
I can.
The Parthenon is an ancient Greek temple located on the Acropolis of Athens, Greece. The Parthenon was originally built as a temple dedicated to the goddess Athena, but it has also served as a treasury, a church, a mosque, and even a gunpowder storage facility throughout its history.
So this is another case study related to the heritage culture.
Further. Here are some of the main components: cella, inner chamber, pediments, decorative sculptures, Doric order, architectural style. The Parthenon
Sorry for that.
was built between 447 and 438 BC. Welcome to the heart of Athens. Did you know that the Acropolis, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, has been standing for over 2,500 years? Select the keywords you wish to use. You may choose more than one. The Parthenon is an ancient Greek temple located on the Acropolis of Athens, Greece.
Okay, I'm going to pause it here, but it's a great example to show it that you don't have to be in exact location to utilize the similar knowledge that's been generated there. But I think what is also quite exciting is this scenario. Maybe, Rena, you can talk a little bit more about what we have in here.
Absolutely. So this was really fun to do. I wanted to label real parts of the cockpit. So I went in there and I put an anchor in the cockpit of a 777 while we were waiting at Heathrow Airport. And then I labeled those, because once it had the anchor, I was able to label the real parts. So I just used the microphone and I talked through some of the components in the cockpit, and then added the knowledge portals right there. And then misspelling is because I didn't have my glasses on when I did that. I was kind of in a rush because I had to finish before the door closed. So I did this all within maybe less than 10 minutes. And then now you can go in that same place and learn about the equipment. And this is a way actually that pilots are learning before they do the simulator and then before they fly their first flight, which is a flight full of passengers. So each of those portals you can see 3 annotations at 3 portals, just like I showed before. So done very quickly, as it's all of the time that I had in that space.
What is actually worth to mention here, as you guys can see, and you were actually in a remote location in a sense, and you presented brilliantly the fact that not only you can annotate and create those experiences and the knowledge portals in a different location, but also you can screen record it. That means the mixture of the real and the virtual, real and augmented, could be, as it is presented now, shared to anyone from that perspective, as well as run as a live demonstration also within the EON XR platform. So that's, I think, is a massive benefit also of this technology right now.
Also, and Janet asked about dividing between knowledge, education and enterprise. Yes. However, where I teach, we do have aviation out in California in most of our 2-year schools, and actually many of the 4-year schools, actually all across the United States. So that's something that, but for the enterprise, it would maybe, this applies to both, the kind of crosses over both sectors. But yes, we do have a division on lessons between education and enterprise, although this crosses over. So good point.
Brilliant. Okay, so with that, and I'm looking also on the clock, I want to go to another element. In this case, I mean, I have also video, but I think I will do the little risks to present everything live, because we know when we do the live presentation, there's always a Murphy's Law there. But I will be happy, of course, to go in this case indoor. So when some of those experiences that John and Rena presented and done the live, showing the Santorini, showing the Cancun, what if it comes to the presentation of the equipment in the laboratory, or a specific exercises that the students or your learners, your trainees need to follow? So one of the things is, when you're running an application, same what Rena and John did, you have ability to create that same as any other experience. And I hope you can see it on the screen. And you're pressing a plus sign and you're using a metaverse builder as an input, entry level. Token expired happens as well, as I said. So let's just log in again. And when you are signing in and you're choosing the metaverse builder as the one that will be starting in here. And you have an ability to, as a first element, placing your AI avatar guide that you have designed and you have incorporated in application. So and guidance here. So I have prepared here some of the electrical engineering equipment or more kind of a microcomputer kind of equipment that comes and lots of the students around the world are using. I'm in the enclosed space of my basement, so you can see why I'm so envious seeing Rena and John being outside in a nice sunny location. I'm in a green screen studio, but that's also and not a problem to place the avatar in this location and having this avatar be presented.
What would you like to do?
I don't know if that was
AI-generated
spoken
show
here,
color
Rina,
experiences
John,
in the virtual
the
world.
avatar.
Explore AI guidance and assistance in real world.
We can
Library,
hear it.
optimization, pre-built content,
Also,
marketplace.
at any time we can stop this process of the wizard as well, because sometimes people think, okay, wizard is amazing and it can create lots of information, but we have also the ability to pull up and making this AI portal elements of the virtual space as a augmented, and then not interrupting, not obscuring our view if necessary. And as it's here, and you can see those options: create, explore, library, and skip. And when we're choosing to do the explore, it will guide us, and that will trigger this wizard, which in this case,
Welcome to
Cancun.
Komorniki, Wielkopolskie, Poland. Did you know that the nearby Rogalin Palace houses one of the largest collections of ancient oak trees in Europe?
And so it is already the
Please
wizard
start by
that
setting up a
guiding me
persistent
through
anchor.
that was mentioned before, and I can already present it in there, and I can point towards the surface. And here, the anchor, when you're setting up the anchor, and that's probably also part of the question, could be set it up on the ground, on any location, but the first anchor is usually to be presented on the horizontal surfaces. On the horizontal surfaces, same as you presented the avatar, you're putting it, and as John already demonstrating it, taking some of the image, and right now by moving around this anchor, we're collecting a visual information about the environment and those feature points that together with the GPS will create a persistent anchor in that location. Now the question was about taking a picture. So if somebody will walk into that, let's say, imaginable laboratory or my room, and they don't necessarily know where to look at, that's why we're setting up those pictures to be potentially an element giving an identification to the user who never potentially been in this location or entering in for the first time, where to focus on, and saving that in together. And it follows.
Let's add real-world annotation. This will be one of the topics of this experience.
And I'm going to actually cancel that. And I'm going to cancel the wizard also just to demonstrate to you that the wizard is amazing.
You can ask me anything. And
the wizard is there, and AI assistant is there to ask. I can ask and discuss any questions I want, but I don't want to go through that yet. What I want to do, I can use a typical buttons on the user interface that you can see here, this plus button already. And based on that, also, I can set up and change the persistent mark tracking also using this icon here. I'm going to put it on the black background so you can see it a little bit better. So this is the icon, if we also show the help, that this is the icon to establish the persistent anchor into your experience. So you can either follow the wizard or you can do it and manually process this persistent anchor. And you have ability to add the content to your real world in such a way that the same way as you're adding them in the previous examples. So in this case, I can add the annotations, which will be the memos. I can add the annotation based on the image recognition, or I can add a 3D model. So all of those functionalities still exist, still can be used, but in this case, I can do it more manually. So for instance, providing a lesson for the electronic lesson, I can press the button, set the annotation point, and right now you can see this yellow dot that will be following every object and every surface, either as a horizontal, vertical surface in here, and based on that, in that location will allow me to provide the annotation point. Just so you know, we have a support for multilingual format as well, because my mobile device is configured to use both languages, Polish and English. So depending on the configuration of my device, that will be used this annotation in the language, but you can choose whichever language you have on your device. Microcomputer, Arduino. And based on that, as it was already presented, so I'm not going to be focusing that much on this aspect, but we can add the standard annotation, which will be just the text, or we can add an annotation based on the media that will, and this is some of the new things as well related and mentioned in the previous webinar, as well as within this that is already using text ability to use the text or voice to search the facts using a ChatGPT engine. So in this case, there is a give me a fun fact that's a default one, and that will be already created.
Arduino is an open source microcomputer platform used for building electronics projects.
So
It
that
consists of both a physical program
that already kind of automatically generated
environment.
And we can use those, and it will also generate all of the info as a facts.
The Arduino was named after a bar in Ivrea, Italy, where the founders of the company used to meet and discuss their ideas.
And there is a video also generated or found.
Here is a video related to microcomputer Arduino.
Okay, so and so that means we can have those annotations there available. We can use them anytime we want. We can add even more of those annotations and control them, point them into and changing their position, both of the anchoring their data. But what I want to show you here, I'm going to close this experience. And here you can see, and John was also showcasing it, that we can share our experience privately, publicly, or on the marketplace as well. And we can update the thumbnail to represent our experience with the thumbnail as well, and having it save and exit. But I want to show you from a perspective of not the creator, but the end user. Okay? I will slow down. I can see here to kind of slow down. Sorry for that. But I know the time is going and we have 8 minutes, and I would like to also leave at least 5 for the question. But if you are the creator of those experiences and you want to share it, now I have in my workspace, as a preparation for this webinar, I already used and create some experience here earlier today. And when I choose that, imagine that I am a student, or I'm your smart worker that comes into the place, to the laboratory, and not to create those anchors, but to use those anchors. So when you're starting your experiences, it will tell you, do you want to use persistent anchor? So it automatically recognizes it. And if you press yes, and you will see it, that it automatically locates the objects or those annotations on the object that it was. Of course, if physically things will move, those annotations will have a little bit of discrepancy. And the answer to another question, can we change the avatar's look? Absolutely, we can. And that's, as I said on the beginning, it's individual ability to set up the avatar. Currently, because the way it's been injected into the application or implemented inside the application, our AI assistant avatar can be only an avatar of a woman. But we have in the pipeline ability to replace and use multiple voices for this AI assistant, including the male voices, non-gender specific as well. So in that case, those are the possibilities to do that. It just, yes, Rena, go ahead.
I was going to say something about that. So, so there's 2 different avatars. There's ones that are actually 3, but your AI assistant and then your avatar. So there's all kinds of variability in those. And yes, we're making those even more variable. But the interesting thing is, we're also coming out with personality, like if you're going to be like a researcher or a pedagogical expert or maybe a grade school teacher. And so it sets your level of the response as well as the personality. And that's going to be really great for delivery at different levels. Yeah, and Martin showing all of the different variabilities. And so like most of us have like 10, 15 avatars, and you just choose the one for that experience.
Absolutely. And we can always change that. There are various options, and when I change that, and I will open the same experience as before here, and having it loading in this experience, it will use the persistent anchor, and it says, look at your location, and then it will automatically provide me this info. Plus, of course, all of the information that potentially was already injected into this experience related to the video, images, audio will be playable and accessible for the students as the typical activities in the experience, when we will be able to collect what did the student, smart worker, done in this space. And when they finish in completing all of the activities and finishing this exercise, this experience, we have the ability to see the full information related to the views, statistics, as well as if there is some sort of AI being injected into that, a report will be generated together with this experience. Okay, I think for the live presentations, we showed you quite a lot, and as it was pointed out, I talked quite fast. But what's the next steps for you guys? So as I said before, please make sure that your administrators, your institutes, providing you a necessary license to use the Metaverse Builder and EON AI assistance. To many of the institutions, we provided that initially as a trial, and many of the organizations around the world already invested into using that by the students and faculty members and the industrial members representations as well. Second of all, if there is a need for additional webinar, additional guiding training sessions, around the world, we're organizing those sessions as a CSD team, and that's important. Plus, and I think I'm going to kind of jump into this in here, I want to also highlight this information here. So of course, we are more than welcome to kind of contact us directly. So Irina, myself, John, we are moving around the world, but we are happy to answer all the questions will come. But also, please do not hesitate to follow us on the LinkedIn, which includes lots of the information, especially from our founder. On the YouTube, that there is lots of the videos, including the online self-learning sessions that Rina was preparing called EON Learn. And also, we want to highlight the fact that we have an open channel for communication called the Discord, where the students, especially let's call it the younger generation, and I'm winking the eye because the age is only the number and how you're feeling, but without discriminating, those people who are more into gaming, they're using Discord, but also we have that as an open channel for people who would like to exchange the messages, and we have a specific dedicated channels about the AI supported mechanisms and also using it. All right, any other questions that we should be answering here, guys?
I've been typing like crazy, so, but just to go over a couple things of the minimum requirements to create the experiences. You want to go over that, Martin?
Actually, I'm going to go. The thing is, as I mentioned before, and the mobile device right now, because we use the augmented reality, there is a need to use the mobile device. So that's one of the things. All of the information is available on our resource page, but I want to also highlight the elements of the technology. So if you're using the Apple devices, then there's a less of the problem. If you're using Android devices, there is a technology that you can check devices, AR core devices. So Google, because we incorporated Google's technology on this website, which I'm going to actually put into the chat, there is a list of the AR core supported devices provided by Google. So those devices are the ones which are allowing to use the AR, augmented reality, and if they are supporting a depth, then there is a chance also that they are supporting the full anchor, using the anchor, and of course the GPS and other data in that. If there is some of the devices that do not support it, then we are happy to, of course, discuss and look on the other options, how we can incorporate this technology to make it easier and on multiple. All right, let's look on the chat here. I think we have 1 more minute. So can the avatar demonstrate actual ways of fixing given model? There is a possibility still, and this is a standard functionality of the basic EON XR to do the 3D recording. So yes, there is a possibility that you can, but in this case, your avatar, so your virtual alter ego, is able to perform activities and demonstrate it together with your voice. So that's one of the way. Plus, we have the intelligent system that allows to recognize the keywords and the avatar then pointing to that. But if you want to do things, move things, move around the space, that's where the 3D recordings are the best ones. But the 3D recording works best together with the 3D models. So when you're actually moving at 3D models, because of course the augmented reality cannot act yet on the real physical objects except recognizing them and superposing them. And yes, you can assign it as it was there mentioned. Okay, guys, it's 1 hour has passed, and thank you very much all for joining this webinar. John, Rena, amazing that you could join from those locations. And John, I'm going to be angry at you because of showing those green, sunny environments. So don't show in the office on Monday, please, because that's not going to be good. But thank you very much all for a participation, and all of the participants online around the world. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. We look forward to helping you out. And like I said, I typed in the chat, this is something that's really changing fast, because the faculty that have restricted time outside of class, you saw us do it. We brought up 33 portals within 20-30 seconds, and there you go. And so we hope you enjoyed that, and we're looking forward to everybody having these experiences together. So thank you, Martin, for hosting, and hola to John.
Thank you, everyone. Pleasure showing this great experience for everyone. Let us know if you have any questions, contact us. Happy to set up specific training for everyone. Make sure you're familiar how to use these tools. We're here to help you maximize everything you can out of these tools, and hopefully get students learning using these XR experiences. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Have a great day.